In future, you may want to become businessman, businesswoman. You may want to become contractor. You may want to work in the any trade, or you may want to become contractor. You may want to become working in the bank or something dealing with money. Okay, so in that case you will need the idea something about we call commercial mathematics, mainly the one which we'll use for trade and commerce, that mean in market. So this is also important. So for doing that, now we will see first what we call ratio. So remember, when we compare something one with another, okay, sometimes you divide one quantity with the other, that is what we call ratio. And when you compare them, remember, more or less they should be written in the same form. That means meter with meter, centimeter with centimeter, kg with kg. Okay, they should be of similar way. So here you see ratio, it is a numerical relation of one quantity to another, but it should be of the same kind. That means we want to compare each one. Okay, so when we compare one with the other, that is what we call ratio. So like here you see lion and deer, we cannot compare, we have to compare lion and lion, deer and deer. Okay, or if we want, that mean lion animal, deer animal, then in that case maybe because both are animals, then we can compare. So each term which we write, we used to call it as terms. Okay, those. So you can see sometimes we may write in this form. This is what we call ratio. We used to write it is to. We will read it as 12 is to 30. Okay, or you may write it in this form, 12 above. So this is 2, you may write with this line, then 30. So this one you have, this one is numerator, this one is denominator. Then next you may have proportion. If we compare only two things, we call it ratio. But if we take four things, okay, we compare, we write them in this way, you can see, like A by B equal to C by D. Okay, we have two ratio, we compare them, and in the middle we put equal. So such quantity we call them proportion. A, B, C, D, we call them as proportion, and we can write it this one. Okay, A is to B, then in place of equal you put 4 dot, C is to D. Then this which are near to one another, we call them mean or middle term. Then those two which are far from one another, we call them extremes. Kibajan ngikot middle or mean. Those two which are far, we call them as extreme. So if you want to rewrite them, we can rewrite them by cross multiplication. Okay, A into D equal to B into C. You can rewrite it that way. Okay, those. So you see, when three terms they are in continue proportion, then what happen? We have, you can see, this two quantity, they are equal. So if we cross multiply, we will get B square equal AC. So the same way, A and C, they will be the third proportion. B and B will be the middle one. We call it the mean proportion. So using next, we'll go to the unitary method. So if we have to solve something, okay, if we have to solve in simple words, that is what we call unitary method. Here you see, unitary method, it is a simple way of solving any mathematical problems. That means if they write something in words, then we have to solve them. So that method we call unitary method. So for solving unitary method, we need to know two quantities. One we call direct variation, another we call inverse variation. When we say direct, kamut kadon gajing yaday ka marjan. When we say inverse, mut kaday da kongpong. Okay, direct means more or less same to same. We may have two quantity like A and B. Okay, if A increase, B also increase. So you can see both increase, or if A decrease, B also decrease. So you can see if one side increase, the other side also increase. One side decrease, other also decrease. Such kind of relation we call it as direct. Okay, but if suppose A increase, then B decrease, okay, then you will have A become less, B become more. That means just the opposite of one another. So in that case, we call them inverse variation. So because remember, we will have to apply plus, minus, multiply and divide only. So in that case, you have to see what operation we have to use. So that we need to see, okay. First, are they direct or are they inverse, or we may say indirect. So here you see direct variation. If the value of one quantity increase with increasing of the other, so that variation we call it direct variation, or we may call it direct proportion, okay. Then if the two quantities, they are opposite of one another, one is increase, the other is decrease, that is what we call inverse variation. So that means before you solve the question, read the question properly, try to see are they direct or are they inverse. Then in that case you can see, okay, because if it is inverse we have to divide, if it is direct, that's why we have to see, because sometimes we have to use multiply, sometimes we have to use divide, but we need to know first, is it direct or is it inverse, okay. So we'll see exercise 8.1. If you want, you can try it all, but we will do only number 1, 2, 3, 4, just for you to get some idea, okay. So let us see with number 1. We have 10 men, they dig a well 9 days. And then if 50 men are there, how many days they will dig? So here what we have men and days, okay. Men and days, that means the number they are working. So when we have 10 men, they are working for 9 days. And if there are 15 of them, how many days they will work? So is it a direct or is it inverse? Remember, you may have one well like that, okay. This is a kind of a lake, maybe they are digging. So remember, like imagine that one man dig this much, another this much, this one like that, okay. Each plot of land there. So you see, so that means the whole area it is used by men, that means dig by 10 men, this whole area, okay. So 10 men are there, they work little like that, they need 10 days. But now the plot of land is same, so they increase it by 15 men. So will they need 9 days to complete? Because you can see like in one day this much, another day this much for 10, clear. But if for 15 are there, they will not complete only this, they will complete more, right? They will complete more. So in that case what happened? The number of days will be less. So here what we have? Here we have the inverse relation, okay. Because why? You see, when there are 10 men, they will need 9 days. Now the number of men increase, but because the work they have to do will be same, right? Then the amount of work need to be complete will be same. So that means they will need less days, okay. More men, less days, more days, less men. So this will be the inverse relation. So that means you can take it that way only. Remember, 10 men, they dig how many days? 9 days. So if suppose only one man, okay, 10 of them, they need 9 days. Only one, he will need more, right? So when he need more mean, we have to multiply. So that person will need 90 days, okay, 9 into 10. So if 50 of them, 10 of them, they need 9 days. Only one man, he will need more, no? Because one day this much he need, second day this one, third day. So like that, to complete the whole land, he will need 90 days. But now, what they do? They bring more men. They bring more. So when they bring more, will they need more days? No. This is the same plot of land, more men are coming. So that means they will need less days. So in that case, what we have to do? We have to divide. This kind of calculation are very important because you will need it in future for your future, okay, for your entrance test or any of those competitive exams. So please read the question properly and try to understand, then only you can do it. So 15 into what here? With 2 less, 6 5 as a 10, 6 1s are 9. So that means if there are 50 men, they will need only 6 days, okay. 10 they need 9 days. If one, he will need 90 days, and if there are 15, they will need around 6 days.